welcome to the Doodle Dad Year podcast, a dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. What Gen X dads understand. At Target, I saw Michelle Obama's book, Reach Higher, and thought, Bill Maher just got a stiffy. Holla! Thank you very much! Georgetown apologized for slavery. Why not apologize for something it had control over, like forcing Allen Iverson to practice balancing a checkbook for Mo Money Management from do-rags to riches? Holla! Thank you very much! How can I be transphobic if I'd rather suck off Bruce Jenner with no makeup on and be forced to swallow every last demon drop than have to go into the Lego store again to buy a Harry Potter Lego set after the coast was clear with my three kids' faces all covered up, including my own, which made me feel like Michael Jackson on holiday in Dubai after magic made HIV disappear. Allah, thank you very much! And again, if Michael Jackson were alive today, how would he defend himself against all of his Neverland accusers? What would he say in his defense? All the Beatles royalty points in the world couldn't buy me love. Allah, thank you very much! Has anyone in my audience seen that last Woody Allen film about some middle-aged guy that bangs a girl half his age? I think it was a prequel called Crimes and Misdemeanors. The early years. Holla! Thank you very much! Actually, my first moral parenting stance was, after my daughter was born, Matilda, was insisting that she only watch Woody Allen films that came out pre-Sun Yi. And at the same time insisting that my daughter only be allowed to listen to Michael Jackson songs that came out pre-Jackson 5. Because then my pedophile molester stance regarding curated entertainment offerings is more black and white. Allah, thank you very much! And if Ronan Farrow, who is a creepy looking fuck, I know he's done a lot of good, but if I still don't trust him. It's something about the eyes. According to Mia Farrow, regarding an interview with Vanity Fair, she claims, not too long ago, she threw out the possibility of Frank Sinatra being the father of Ronan Farrow, not Woody Allen. And if that's true, then why hasn't Ronan Farrow hired a goon from Hoboken to knock Woody Allen on his ass yet? Holla! Thank you very much! I read a book about Woody Allen a long time ago where I did learn about him keeping naked Polaroid pics of a 9-year-old naked Sun Yi in his top sock drawer to tap for future script inspiration, I assume. The only thing missing from those pictures really was another pic of her crying on the cover of Time Life magazine. Allah, thank you very much! So I'm going to spoil you guys again with another piece of flash fiction. In other words, a very short story that's entertaining from beginning to end, very titillating, very funny, very punchy, and has some, nice, heartfelt, emotional, realism-based moments that I am very proud to share with you, and I'm very excited to incorporate in my future book, Waste of Height, very short stories. And that book is going to be fantastic. And right now, I'm about 30,000 words in, so I'm making a lot of progress. And everyone on my WordPress blog, all of my fans of this podcast, thank you for your continued encouragement and emotiveness in my honor by liking my stuff, by sharing it, because you motivate me to constantly top myself and do better. So thank you. So I'll stop jerking you all off collectively and get to the Maiden Bartender. You met one Iron Maiden fan, you met them all, right? Iron Maiden fans wear out those mummy metal patches on their faded, torn jean jackets, even into their late 30s, to inject a dark, mysterious, complex, weighty edge such die-hard fanatic fans are incapable of generating on their own. Holla! Thank you very much! Granted. Bruce Dickinson, the more exalted replacement lead singer, star of Iron Maiden, otherwise known as the human air raid siren, boasts a supernatural voice which pierces through the clouds of heavy metal heaven. Still, it's impossible to not grow tired of its rapid fire, spinal tap conjuring caricature of what an English heavy metal howler should sound like in Samuel Johnson's speed metal phonics dictionary under Game of Thrones horse charging music. Holla! Thank you very much! At least that's what the cruise comedian Michael Rocker thought as he entered a colonial constructed seaside shipbuilding town of Mystic, Connecticut, where Julia Roberts shot the movie Mystic Pizza and entertained the grips on the set by fisting her mouth in between takes to ensure they made her look the most flattering in the face of such frigid East Coast winter light. Now, Michael Rocker, a tall, athletic-looking, preppy, casual comic, orders a drink and says, "Hey, what local IPAs do you recommend?" The bartender, a tall, striking, borderline statuesque, dirty blonde, sporting an Iron Maiden tattoo on a defined, yet not overtly chiseled deltoid, replies, "I don't know. That all depends on how much hardcore bitter bite you can take. I mean, are you interested in merely quenching your thirst with a session filler IPA beer, or would you prefer to get your hardcore freak on for karaoke night with something boozier and more funktastic, like a fat Orange Cat's Trapel IPA?" Stud. The cruise comic says, "I'll take the Trapel IPA, hot stuff," as he tries hard not to lick his lips, wanting to inhale her whole on the spot. Sitting next to the cruise comic at the bar is a hunched, tired, lanky, dirty blonde, long-haired guy in his late 30s, sporting bad acne spots from a poor diet full of too much beef jerky and cheap vodka tonics reeking of stale Newport cigarettes, stripping the minty cool flavor of any high schooler hoodie appeal after the first drag whatsoever. The cruise comic gets the impression the Newport cigarette guy who's sporting a black Iron Maiden shirt under his faded, torn jean jacket is here solo as usual. So he decides to sample some new jokes on him in preparation for his upcoming cruise tour, heading to Jamaica for spring break the following morning. Cruise comic makes eye contact with the Iron Maiden fan and says, "Nice Maiden shirt. You must know the wrestler and Fozzy frontman Chris Jericho then, right?" Maiden dude replies, "Duh, who doesn't?" Immediately, the cruise comic becomes engulfed with extreme annoyance, regretting his attempt to bond with this local and his attempt to play cool with the hot badass bartender, and snaps back with, "Be honest, don't you think Iron Maiden is a poor man's Judas Priest with far less sing-along radio-friendly hits, being forced to rely on catchy merchandising gimmickry to radiate a cooler, far less Dungeons and Dragons nerdy veneer instead? And who is the Eddie mascot on Iron Maiden shirts supposed to be anyway? He looks like a cyborg mummy, and a virile crypt keeper in his prime had a baby. Run for the Hills is a good running song for Daniel Day-Lewis to crank up when he trained for his role in The Last of the Mohicans, though." The bartender can't help but chuckle, doing her best not to let cruise comedian know it. Still, she decides to interject, knowing fighting words were just thrown down in this normally peaceful waterfront town, and says, "Hey Eddie, don't listen to him. He's not sophisticated enough to understand the intricacies and sweeping, historical, majestic sweep that went into Power Slave, and the other 40 records of English speed metal mastery at its finest. Nick's vodka and tonic is on me, babe. Don't sweat it. Cruise Comedian is turned on by the bartender's friendly, infused, fiery cheer, especially knowing this was her way of pleasing a local and flirting with him big time, and says, "She's right, Eddie. That's your name, Eddie, just like the Iron Maiden mascot?" Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just putting Iron Maiden down to feel better about myself. That's what Hat Cruise comics do. I think Poison, Motley Crue, and Cinderella rock out just as hard and boast infinitely catchier, kick-ass metal pop anthems, which ooze forceful, heartfelt personality versus sounding like systematic howling knights on horseback. But what do I know, Eddie? Didn't mean to offend your hardcore, fanatical Maiden sensibilities, bud. Eddie's face becomes ensnarled in acne scar shades of red as he clenches his callus-hardened, burn-laden hands and says, "Dude, I'm a dishwasher on a cruise ship. I don't need to take this shit." The cruise comedian says, "I'm a lowly cruise comedian, hat comedian, so it's a wash, mate." Looking forward to docking in Jamaica, though. This is my impression of Ziggy Marley being interviewed by High Times magazine for their annual 420 issue. "Ziggy, your dad had 11 kids, but I thought ganja drained your life blaster dry." Ziggy replies, "Fake news, man." Cruise comic finally scores a much-needed tension-diffusing laugh. Eddie says, "That was a good one. Perhaps I take my obsession with Iron Maiden a tad too seriously at times." Thing is, you get pretty cagey as a cruise ship dishwasher, all alone with Iron Maiden tunes of want and destruction stuck in your head. Cruise Comic says, "No problem, dude. I was being a big dick prior. Sometimes my riffing veers into full-fledged asshole land faster than I'd prefer to. Do you smoke your mind with the crystal spec bud?" Eddie, the dishwasher, says, "Yeah, I mean, what loner burnout Maidenhead in high school didn't? You never outgrow." The soothing lift the green gives a loner burnout at heart. Cruise Comics says, "Did you know 420 was Hitler's birthday? I haven't felt this betrayed since Sly Stallone snuck Mel Gibson into Expendables 3. Eddie, the dishwasher, says, "Oh, so you're Jewish. That's why you're so annoying and pushy with your material." Well, nobody's perfect, except Beth the bartender. Beth the bartender commands the stage and clenches the mic to belt out "Run for the Hills" on the karaoke stage with incredible hardcore edge feeling to make a jaded, English metal resistant cruise comic willing to give British speed metal another shot. All that was missing was a hardcore female touch and some added funktastic feeling with some sexy metal sass to match. And I'll talk to you guys soon.